Good day, everyone. I'm Christopher Pickney, and this presentation examines Dell Wright's overlapping model of intergovernmental relations and its importance within modern public administration. Wright's frameworks explain how federal, state, and local government operate through shared authority, collaboration, and coordinated governance rather than strict separation of powers. This presentation will explore the theoretical foundations, strengths, challenges, and modern applications of intergovernmental collaboration. Biblical principles such as stewardship, unity, accountability, and ethical leadership guide effective governance. Ecclesiastes 4:9 remind us that two are better than one because collaboration strengthens outcomes and improves services to communities. Effective leadership and public administration depends upon cooperation, trust, accountability, communication, ethical responsibility, and collective problem solving. This slide introduces Dell's right overlapping model of governmental relations. Wright argued that modern governments no longer function independently with clearly separated responsibilities. Instead, authority overlaps among federal, state, and local government, requiring cooperation and shared decision making. Public administrators must coordinate policies, funding, and services across multiple levels of government. This framework reflects the complexity of com- contemporary governance, which public issues such as disaster management, healthcare, education, and infrastructure required collaborative solutions. Wright's model emphasized communication, negotiation, and independence among governmental entities. The framework remains influential because it accurately reflects how public administration operates today. Biblical principles also support collaboration and mutual assistance. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 teaches that working together strengthens effectiveness and improves outcome in leadership and public service. Collaborative governance strengthens public administration through partnership, shared goals, strategic coordination, and responsive leadership practices nationwide. The overlapping model contains several important characteristics. Government share authority rather than operate independently. Responsibilities frequently overlap among agencies and jurisdictions, requiring collaborative and negotiation during policy implementation. Public administrators must communicate and coordinate continuously to achieve successful governance outcomes. Wright emphasized that modern governance depends on interaction, shared decision making, and collective responsibility rather than isolated authority structures. This model accurately reflects contemporary democratic governance systems and administrative realities. Shared responsibilities require administrators to maintain communication, operation, accountability, and to ensure successful policy implementation and public service delivery. One major strength of Wright's overlapping model is flexibility. Governments can share resources, expertise, and responsibility to effectively address changing public needs. Collaboration improves coordination, communication, and policy implementation across agencies and jurisdictions. The model also supports innovation by enabling organizations to enhance ideas, strategies, and best practices. Collaborative public management strengthens governmental effectiveness, problem solving capacity in modern administration. Flexible governance systems improve adaptability, strengthen public trust, and encourage innovation when responding to rapidly changing community needs. This slide explains the theoretical foundation of intergovernmental relations. Wright argues that authority within modern government overlaps significantly among federal, state, and local institutions. Public administrators must coordinate regulations, funding, and services through collaborative governance systems. Traditional models emphasizing strict governmental separation no longer reflects the realities of modern administration. In intergovernmental cooperation has become essential for effectively addressing public challenges. Wright's framework continues to shape governance theory and collaborative public administrative practices. These governance theories continue to influence public administration, education, and development leadership, also organizational decision making practices across government institutions. This slide explains the major characteristics of Wright's overlapping model. First, governments share authority rather than acting independently. Second, governmental responsibility frequently overlap across agencies and jurisdictions. Third, collaborations become essential because no single level of government can effectively address modern societal challenges on its own. Finally, negotiation drives implementation because agency often possesses different priorities, resources, and political interests. Public administrators must continuously communicate and coordinate to achieve policy goals. Wright emphasizes that modern governance depends on interaction rather than isolation. This collaborative structure improves flexibility and responsiveness within the public administration. This model also aligns with biblical teaching regarding unity and independence. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 12 to 14 describe how many parts work together as one body, reflecting the importance of cooperation and among leaders and institutions in achieving common objectives. Shared authorities encourage teamwork, accountability, communication, cooperation, flexibility, negotiation, coordination, and improve policy implementation process. One major strength of the overlapping model is flexibility. Governments can respond more effectively to changing public needs by sharing resources, expertise, and responsibilities. Another strength is improved coordination among agencies, which strengthen communication and policy implementation. Collaboration also supports innovation by enabling agencies to enhance ideas and best practices across organizational boundaries. Aronoff and Maguire explain that collective public management strengthens governmental problem-solving capacity and improves administrative effectiveness. Modern governance challenges are increasingly interconnected, requiring partnership among governmental entities. Wright's framework reflects the realities of contemporary governance, where cooperation is necessary for successful public service delivery. Biblical teaching also support collective responsibility and teamwork. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 4 to 5, emphasize unity and cooperation within communities, which parallel the collaborative nature of governmental governance system. Collaborative partnership enhances innovation, communication, effective efficiency, adaptability, responsiveness, trust, and long-term governmental effectiveness significantly nationwide. Collaboration in public administration improves problem solving by bringing together governments, nonprofits, businesses, and community organizations. Intergovernmental cooperation strengthens communication, innovation, resource sharing, and emergency response coordination. Wright's model emphasizes collective active action and shared responsibilities in achieving effective policy, public policy service and service delivery. Partnership among agencies creates stronger, safer, and healthier communities through collaborative governance practice. Effective collaboration increases efficiency, reduces duplication, and strengthens public confidence within governmental and community partnership initiatives across society. Rights overlapping model explain how governments share authority and responsibilities while pursuing common public goals. Effective governance depends on communication, coordination, collaboration, and strong administrative network. Intergovernmental partnership improve accountability, efficiency, flexibility, and policy implementation across jurisdictions. The model highlights how modern governance systems operate through interconnected relationships rather than isolated governmental structures. Administrative networks support stronger communication systems, improve coordination, and enhance governmental responsiveness to modern public challenges and emergencies. Although the overlapping model offers several advantages, it also creates challenges. Shared responsibilities may blur accountability and create confusion regarding policy outcomes or administrative failures. Administrative complexity can lead to duplication of effort and inefficiency. Unequal power relationship may develop. Federal agency possesses greater resources or authority than state and local governments. Fiscal tensions may also rise due to competition for funding and influence. Public administrators must carefully balance collaboration, accountability, transparency, and efficiency to effectively reduce governance conflicts and administrative challenges. Modern governance systems operate through interconnected networks involving government, nonprofit, private organization, and community stakeholders. Wright's model remains relevant because public problems increasingly require collaborative, adaptive governance, and public administrators now need leadership, communication, negotiation, and strategic coordination skills to manage interorganizational relationships successfully. This presentation also highlights ethical leadership, accountability, and public service responsibility that strengthen democratic governance and intergovernmental cooperation today. Modern leadership requires adaptability, ethical communication, collaboration, and strategic planning to enhance interconnected governance systems successfully today. Biblical principles provide an ethical foundation for governance and intergovernmental leadership. Stewardship, accountability, cooperation, and integrity strengthens public and improve decision making within governance systems. Right overlapping model supports unity and shared responsibility among public institutions while encouraging justice, transparency, and ethical leadership. This presentation also highlights ethical leadership accountability and public service responsibility that strengthens democratic governance and intergovernmental cooperation today. Ethical governance strengthens transparency, public confidence, responsibility leadership, and long-term institutional effectiveness within democratic public administration systems worldwide. However, Wright's overlapping model provides an important framework for understanding modern intergovernmental relations and collaborative governance. Governments today operate through interconnected systems where authority responsibilities and policy implementation overlap significantly. Collaboration, coordination, and negotiation remains essential for effectively addressing complex public challenges. Also, overlapping governance creates challenges such as blurred accountability and administrative complexity. It also promotes innovation, flexibility, and stronger public service delivery. Ethical leadership and biblical principles further strengthen governance through stewardship, accountability, justice, and integrity. This presentation also highlights the ethical leadership, accountability, and public service responsibilities to strengthen democratic governance and intergovernmental cooperation today. However, collaborative governance remains essential for improving policy and effectiveness, governmental coordination, and public trust within democratic societies today. This final slide contains the scholarly and biblical references used throughout the presentation. These sources support theoretical foundations, governance concept, and ethical principles discussing during this presentation. This presentation also highlights ethical leadership, accountability, and public service responsibility that strengthen democratic governance and intergovernmental cooperation today. These references provide academic support, theoretical foundations, and ethical guidance for understanding modern intergovernmental relationships and collaborative governance.